words afterwards, but go ahead. Shabbat Shalom. Where did the cow take his girlfriend on a date? To the movies. What's a cow's favorite subject in school? Music. What does a cow like best about math? Calculus. My Torah portion for my Bar Mitzvah is Parshat Ki Tisa. This Shabbat is also extra special because it is one of the 4 Shabbats before Passover, called Shabbat Parah, or Shabbat of the Cow. This Torah portion is the one I was born on 13 years ago, so it has a special meaning for me in my life. Of all the Torah portions of the year, God picked that I would be born on this Parsha. Why? In studying my Parsha, I found several connections between my life and the Parsha. My Parsha contains a lot of cows because it tells the story of the golden calf that the Israelites built in the desert. Also, the Maftir Aliyah talks about the red heifer, the cow that was sacrificed and its ashes were used to purify people. So the first connection that I have to my Parsha is I love animals. Another connection is that the Parsha talks about the golden calf, and I'm golden. Also, my grandfather's Uri's name only appears once in the Torah, and it's in this Parsha. Bezalel, son of Uri, is the architect who built the Mishkan, the place where the people prayed in the desert. My grandfather read this aliyah for the first time today. Speaking of grandparents, today I brought a picture from home which belonged to my great-grandmother Lillian Marlowe, which uses all of the words of the book of Shemot, also known as Exodus, including the ones in my Parsha, to make a picture of the splitting of the sea. And right now I'm standing under a work of art of the 10 Commandments. Thinking of these 2 works of art, I wondered, how would I make my own Parsha into a work of art? I wondered what would it look like. So here is my Parsha illustration. It has at the top the words Ki Tisa, because those words mean when you lift. So they should be put on top. Then I put the words from my Parsha, Vayeran Moshe min hahar, which means Moses came down the mountain, and I used those to make the mountain in my illustration. And at the top of the mountain, the words are very small because at the top, when Moses was at the top, nobody could see him. But as he came further down, he became bigger because he was lower down and closer to him. Then I put the words of that verse, Ushnei luchot hadet bayado, which means, in the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hands. I used these words to make the 2 tablets in my picture. Below the tablets, I made the golden calf using the words from the verse about the golden calf. Asu lahem egel masecha ve'ishtachavu, which means they made a molten calf and bowed down to it. In the middle, I put in big letters, Egel Hazahav, which means the golden calf. This is how I decided to illustrate to best represent the ideas of my Parsha. And speaking of cows, my Bar Mitzvah project was also focused on cows. I love to ride my bike from my house to the beach with my family. So for my Bar Mitzvah project, I did a bike-a-thon to the beach. I biked 18 miles from my house to the beach, and my family and friends biked too. For each mile, people donated money to an organization called Heifer International, which gives cows and other animals to hungry people in rural areas so they can have their milk and other resources. I also know what an impact a cow can make on a family. The way I know this is a family friend, Yetta came, fled from the Holocaust to Siberia, where the only source of food she has was milk from a cow. The goal of my Bar Mitzvah project was to raise enough money for 1 cow, for a family in need. Through the bike-a-thon, we raised enough money to buy a cow, but that's not all. In addition to the cow, we raised enough money to donate 1 alpaca, 2 flocks of chicks, 2 flocks of ducks, 1 flock of geese, and 1 hive of honeybees to families in need so that they can use and sell the wool, feathers, and eat the honey and eggs. I'm glad that for this Shabbat of the cow, we were able to give a real cow to a family in need, and so much more. My Bat Mitzvah project was a team effort among family and friends, and so was all of my Bat Mitzvah. So I now would like to thank the people who helped me along the way. First, I would like to thank my parents, my mom for reading Torah and teaching me Mincha, Mariv, Shacharit, Torah service, my Torah portion, Haftorah, and Musaf. My dad for the planning and the details and for reading Torah. I would like to thank my brother who supported me all throughout this process. I would like to thank Saba and Safta Grimblatt for buying me my beautiful talit and kippah, and Saba Grimblatt for reading Torah. I would like to thank Saba and Safta Berenbaum for buying me tefillin and Saba for reading Torah. I would like to thank my Aunt Mira for leading Sukkot or Zimra and for reading Torah. I would like to thank Rabbi Kligfeld and Rabbi Chorny for meeting with me and Rabbi Chorny for helping me learn Kabbalat Shabbat. I would like to thank my Aunt Julia for giving me the idea of the Tzedakah organization for my Mitzvah project. And I would also like to thank all the people that helped by biking and donating to my Bat Mitzvah project. I would also like to thank everybody that came from out of town for the hard work you did to be able to make it to my Bat Mitzvah. I'd like to thank my great aunt and uncle Lori and Ronnie who planned to come from Connecticut, and my uncle Josh who planned to come from Australia but couldn't come because of precautions for the coronavirus. I know that everyone who couldn't come today is still rooting for me, and I would like to thank them for that. Last but not least, I would like to thank everybody who came and supported me all throughout my Bat Mitzvah process. Shabbat Shalom.